A star in the 2000s, an offensive threat to the opposition, a two-time Stanley Cup champion. What happened to Brad Richards? In the third installment of our What Happened To series, where we take a look of players who fell off the map, we're going to be covering Brad Richards and his career and when he fell off the radar and disappeared. Get ready because this is going to be a story that is quite interesting. Brad Richards was drafted 64th overall in the 1998 NHL entry draft, and because he was drafted in the third round, the expectations for Richards weren't huge. In Brad Richards' rookie season and sophomore season, he scored 62 points, which was good for an underestimated player like Brad. Brad Richards really broke out as a star in the 2003-2004 season, where he recorded 79 points in 82 games, which was fantastic. Richards contributed a lot in Tampa Bay's first Cup win in the 2003-2004 playoffs, and his efforts were rewarded. Brad won the Conn Smythe Trophy as the most valuable player in the playoffs, and he won the Lady Byng Trophy in the same season. At the end of the 2006 playoffs, the Tampa Bay Lightning extended Richards to a 5-year, $39 million contract with an average annual value of $7.8 million. And to put that into comparison, Sidney Crosby signed a 5-year, $43.5 million deal, which had an average annual value of $8.7 million. That's not bad money for Brad Richards. At the 2008 trade deadline, however, the Tampa Bay Lightning shipped Brad Richards off to the Dallas Stars, along with teammate Johan Holmqvist, in return for Mike Smith, Jeff Halpern, Jussi Jokinen, and a 4th-round pick in the 2009 draft. Richards made a bang in his debut with the Stars as he scored 5 assists, leading Dallas to a 7-4 victory over the Chicago Blackhawks. A few years went by in Dallas, and Richards hadn't played up to his standards. Brad Richards did suffer a broken wrist and a broken hand, which left him sitting out for a big portion of the 2008-2009 season, and the Stars ended up missing the playoffs. The Dallas Stars started sinking in the league, and Brad Richards decided to leave Texas and take his talents to New York in the 2011 offseason. He signed a 9-year, $60 million contract with an average annual value of $6.667 million. Brad Richards was in the back half of his career, and signing this contract was huge for a league veteran like Brad Richards. This contract was an awful choice by the Rangers front office, and they faced the consequence for offering such a contract to an aging player. The New York Rangers were good over the next couple seasons after signing Brad Richards. Richards scored his first NHL hat-trick with the Rangers, and they were a strong team in the Eastern Conference. What put the Rangers over the top, though, was the trade for Martin St. Louis, Brad Richards' former teammate from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Richards and St. Louis played on the same line, accompanied by the star forward Rick Nash, and together formed one of the most lethal lines in the NHL. Along with the rest of the Rangers team being pretty strong, the Rangers made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, where they fell to the powerhouse in the West in the LA Kings. Brad Richards put up 51 points that season with the Rangers and scored 12 points in the playoffs, which was good, but not $6.5 million good. After only 3 seasons of his 9-year contract, Brad Richards was bought out by the Rangers and had NHL fans surprised. Sure, Brad Richards was on the decline and his contract was overpaying him, but he was still very skilled, and surely teams still wanted him. Well, teams did want him, and Brad Richards signed a 1-year, $2 million contract with the Blackhawks in their effort to capture their 3rd Stanley Cup since 2010. Richards played his 1,000th game with the Blackhawks against his former team, the Dallas Stars, and it was quite the accomplishment. The Blackhawks made it to the finals, where they faced and beat Brad Richards' first NHL team, the Tampa Bay Lightning, in 6 games. Brad Richards captured his 2nd and last Stanley Cup and was heading back to free agency. Richards signed his final contract of $3 million over 1 season with the Detroit Red Wings. The Red Wings barely made the playoffs and were eliminated by the Tampa Bay Lightning in 5 games. Brad Richards announced his retirement shortly after the playoffs. So what did happen to Brad Richards? The most obvious reason Richards fell off the radar was because he was aging, but he started to decline before he got old. One reason that I think this is acceptable is that his injuries slowed his scoring down. He injured both hands, and because they're important for offense, it's a realistic reason as to why he might have slowed down earlier. Plus, before his injuries, he played most of the games in many seasons, and he hadn't really dealt with injury. After his hand injuries, he had a tied career high points of 91, which was great, then started quickly declining. And like I said earlier, because he injured his hands and they are essential for scoring points, this could be a legitimate reason for why he started to decline so quick. Brad Richards did retire at 36 years old and played 1,126 NHL games, scored 298 goals, and got 634 assists for 932 points. He won 2 Stanley Cups and 1 Conn Smythe Trophy, and 1 Lady Byng Trophy, and had his number retired by the Rimouski Oceanic. To say Brad Richards had a good career would be an understatement, but he did fade away to retirement at the end of his career. This was what happened to Brad Richards. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and share it with a friend because it helps grow the channel. Subscribe if you enjoy the content I upload and stay notified for new videos when they come out. If you have any other suggestions of which player I should cover next, make sure to leave them in the comment section because your opinion is appreciated. Make sure to check out the other 2 videos of this series, as that would be greatly appreciated also. Make sure to check out my Instagram and Twitter, links to those will be in the description, and that's all for today. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time.